Hello, 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 hello there. Thank you so much for coming on. I know why you're here. You want to know how you write your first book and finish it. Well, guess what? I got 8 steps to share with you, and one of the most important step of all. So, here we are. I'm Sparkle Smith. I'm a best-selling author. Um, I've helped people, multiple people, create successful books and complete their books. I help publish, coach their book from beginning to end. And so there are 8 steps to writing a book. One is making a decision to write, right? It's all about mindset. 2, the rough draft, right? 3, the editing process. Nobody wants to read a book that has misspelled words and they don't understand the story and they get something else out of the story because the words are misspelled. So the editing, rough decision to write the book and to commit to it, the rough draft, the editing. Then after the editing, you have to get a copyright because you own the rights to that book. You want to make sure you own it, right? No one can steal it from you, right? And then you have to get you a cover design, a book cover design. Even if you get an ebook, I suggest you get a book cover design. Also, you need your book formatted because one thing that I learned as an author in the author process, I thought, okay, I write the book, just get a book cover, and the place that's going to publish the book, they can just figure out how to put it together. No, your book, whether it's Word document, and they compose it into another form, it has to be measured. And it has to be measured and in sync with your page numbers. And your book cover design has to be in sync with that, right? So you need what we call a formatter to get that done. So make a decision, rough draft, editor, cover designer, book formatter, right? And also copyright. You need a copyright. And you need a ISBN so that you can keep track of your book wherever it is. It can go to the other side of the world. People have bought my books in India, in the UK. So you need to track your book. And you need a barcode as well. And you need to actually get it published. So let's go over it in order. Make a decision to write the book and finish the book. Rough draft, right? Editing, right? You need a copyright. You need a cover design. You need a formatter. You need an ISBN code. You need a barcode. And you need to publish, okay? Set it up to be published on whatever platform, right? So now you have it. So knowing is half the battle. But then you're like, okay, how do I do this? Do I self-publish my book? Or do I go through a publishing company? Do I get a literary agent and a agent to go to bat for me at these publishing companies? How do I do it? How do I pull it off? So there are 2 ways to do it: self-publishing and then the traditional process, right? And so I've helped people self-publish, and then I help people actually coach. I coach you with the book, like, okay, your chapters, structuring your chapter. Okay, I'm kind of stuck. I got writer's block. I want to convey this message to the reader. Now, those are the steps to writing, but there's some definite things you need to know. And I'm going to be doing a series to uncover it. One thing you definitely need to know, you need to know your audience. And who is this book for? Who am I writing this book to? What do I want them to take away at the end of this? And what should they have gotten out of this book by the end of this book? What is the purpose of the book? What do I want the book to accomplish for them? Whether it's nonfiction, fiction, self-help, you need to understand the purpose of the book, what audience you're trying to attract. Now, out of all these things, because a lot of times people love every step after the first 2 steps, the editing, the book cover design. People are tech savvy and they're into graphic design and graphic arts and things of that nature, and they love networking and either traditional book publishing or self-publishing. So that's a lot of technical side. But the main part of it, if you don't have a book, you don't have a book if you don't have the rough draft. If you don't make up in your mind that you're going to complete it from beginning to end. Without that, now, of course, you don't want a book without a copyright, right? And you want a nice, cute book cover for marketing purposes, and you want to be covered. Don't want anybody to steal your stuff. At the same time, there is no book without the rough draft, right? Without the content. And this is the make or break in completing a book, because people go through so many emotions with the book. They have so many challenges. But I'm telling you, if you believe that you want to achieve the goal of accomplishing a book, and that there's a story in you that has to get out on paper and it has to be told. Because let me tell you something, if you're living on this earth, you have a story to tell. If you have lived on this earth for any amount of time, you've overcome something, you've achieved something, you face challenges and obstacles, you have an imagination, right? You have gifts, you have creativity, and all that needs to be put on paper to help inspire, encourage someone in some kind of way. You have no idea how it can encourage someone. Autobiography, fiction, biography, self-help. It can inspire someone. It could stop someone from committing suicide. It can save someone from getting into an abusive relationship. It can keep someone out of a abusive relationship. It can keep someone in a good relationship. It can lead someone to a healthy relationship. It can help someone achieve their goals. It can help someone. It can keep someone from dropping out of school, from being an addict. You never know where your book and what you have to say in that book is going to take someone. So, this is the process. This is where the rubber meets the road. Is the make up in your mind and to act on it by completing the rough draft. And so a lot of people have so many struggles. I don't have the amount of time. I'm so busy. I'm doing this and this and that. And they don't realize there's so many hours in a day and there's so much wasted time, right? And you may say, well, I need that time to just be me, and I need just that time to just decompress. But after, how much time do you spend on social media surfing through pages, right? How much time do you just sit daydreaming, thinking about something, right? You have the time. You just have to have the gift of maximize the time. That's where um, accountability coming. You need someone to keep you accountable. If it's you, if it's family, maybe it's not family, because book is a professional goal, right? Whether it's for a hobby or not, it's still a professional goal. And you may have some very credible family members to help you keep you accountable, but at the same time, that may not be the fit for you, right? You may need a coach, a book coach, to keep you accountable, right? And I've been able to help people in that area stay on task. When you meet with somebody, you have an appointment, whether it's 30 minutes or an hour, you know that you're going to get something accomplished in that time. And you may need to set up your hours and say, okay, this is my coaching time. Even if you're self-coaching, or you're coaching yourself through the book, or keep yourself accountable. Maybe you need a coach to keep you accountable, because I always knew I wanted to be an author. The writer was in me from when I was a child. I was in poetry contests and community centers at my church, at school, and most of the time I won. When I was age 12, I had copyrighted my first song with the Library of Congress, not the poor man's copyright that will not hold up in court. Sorry. Don't try to mail yourself your book, and if you have to go to court, that's proof that it's yours. It's not going to hold up. I actually registered it. It's registered to this day with the Copyright Office, right? And so I always wanted to write. 2011, I wrote the first rough draft, but it stayed in on my laptop for years until I made a decision. I got a coach. Guess what? In 3 months, my book was completed just from getting a coach in 3 months, because half the battle was done. I did the rough draft, right? So all I had to do was do most of the technical part and then the editing, get that done, right? And that first book became a bestseller. And so from there, people were asking, well, how do you do it? How can you do it? Because there's so many struggles people have. How many lies do you tell yourself? Well, who's going to read my book? I'm not good enough. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say. What a lie, right? If you have no idea the greatness on the inside of you, the gifted on the inside of you. So many people see greatness in you that you don't even see, right? Even people that pretend like they don't like you, they're admiring you from afar most of the time, right? And so you just have to make that decision. Um, figure out who your accountability partner is going to be, or who's going to keep you accountable, or how you're going to be kept accountable by getting that rough draft done. What are your goals? Lining out your goals. Do I want my book to be 8 chapters? Do I want it to be 5 chapters? Do I want it to be a small book? Do I want to be over 100 pages? Now, if you want to get your book into libraries, I suggest 100 pages with the spine, because it'll attract more people, because they'll see the title of your book on the outside of it, right? And so that's very good for marketing. So I'm going to be doing a series on how to write your book. The first step, the drafting phase, right? Writing it, typing it, keeping your story, or navigating through your story on a journey. So stay tuned. Um, and I look forward to helping you. I look forward to seeing you walk through your journey. So look forward to seeing what your journey is going to look like. It is going to be awesome. So I encourage you to make the decision. It's half the battle. We'll talk to you soon.